Right, just there's the first instalment really of a series of videos perhaps just regarding my dog. She's a little, well, they call her a Jack Russell Terrier, but I would say she's a Jack Russell type. She's probably crossed with something a little bit softer, certainly softer in fur, but softer in nature, I believe. She's very good, just a sort of joy to own, and she's been sort of socialised very sort of carefully, I'd say, just to make sure that she's good. Her recall is good. She's no problem with aggression. She's very good with children. Certainly, if we have grandchildren, of course. So we have to be very mindful. Although the golden rule with any dog, and certainly terriers, is it's not fair to trust them with children. So they're all but yes, the children, and she loves the children love her. So it's all been very good and successful thus far. The trick is to be a little bit relaxed. My wife, bless her, is a little bit less relaxed, as is Tracy. You'll see here the one on the lead is her sister, Peggy. I tend to sort of try and relax a bit more and let the dog sort of learn on its own. You'll see here she runs in the distance. I whistle at this point, I think. And you'll see the sort of, she comes flying back. Of course, any terrier, if it sees something, a deer or anything, will want to run, and then there is no recall. I don't care what any dog trainer says. It's once a dog gets something on its mind, it just tends to ignore you because that thing is more interesting than whatever you got, be it biscuit, ball, or just your personality. But she's generally been very good. Her coat is a bit of a concern, as much as it looks beautiful, but there's nothing of it. She's got no undercoat, whereas her sister, on the one on the lead, Peggy, has a very much thicker undercoat. So that in itself is a little bit of an issue, but we just put a coat on her in the colder weather and make sure she's not going to get cold, as it were. So she's 4 years old now, so she's got a little while before she gets to be an old lady, and we really have to care for her. But to say, her coat is very thin. She mixes with other dogs, bigger, smaller, no problem. Although, again, in order to maintain your dog in a balanced state of mind, I'd call it, is my personal opinion. Socialise it, but don't socialise it with something that's going to knock it for six when it's a puppy, because that can become very defensive. Small dogs tend to sort of, and a pack of dogs will normally sort of sort itself out, but if there's a small dog, it will get, I wouldn't call it bullied, but it's natural for them to all to play. They all play the same way, and nobody ever plays any different, regardless of weight. And it's like playing rough and tumble with Mike Tyson. He wouldn't perhaps mean to hurt you, but of course his sheer mass and physique would doubtless hurt you. So we have been very careful in as much as to sort of try and socialise her, certainly in the parks and what have you, and be very aware of other dogs and whether it's going to be a bit too boisterous for her. And that works. Now when she's older, she mixes with the bigger dogs, and she sees if it's going to be a bit rough, she sort of, I don't know about this, backs away. As I say, she's not shown any signs of any reactive tendency towards dogs that are bullying her. She's more defensive, and sort of, she will occasionally tell them, but she's quite the character in the park. So if other dogs are fighting, she sort of has to go over and join in the play, and that's the only sort of slight concern. She's got a natural, that terrier tendency to, it's almost like the kids in the playground, bundle, and everybody runs across, and she's the first to get there and the first to pitch in, even if it's somewhat bigger dogs. And again, that the recall doesn't work at that point. She's gone. She's got to go in there. And I'm always a bit concerned if two big dogs start going at it, that she's going to be hurt, because she will tend to sort of pitch in. But mostly it's in play, as I say. And you see her with all her friends here in the park. It's a sort of daily park walk. There are a few bigger dogs, but they're dogs that she's been introduced to slowly, and it's all sort of everybody's happy. She has there's a retriever here. Her best friend there is Teddy, the cockapoo, but the retriever Lucy. This is when Lucy was young. Oh, she's a handful, man. She is like not the retriever you expect. She is just mad, and she uses her weight. You see her just flick her background, and she uses her weight just to bop people around, which of course, and that's how these bigger dogs upset. They don't mean to upset the little dogs, but they smack them on the floor, and then they get a bit upset. But I say, as long as you manage it, look out for them, and be prepared to sort of jump in. Don't put your hands in. Sometimes you have to sort of use your voice, and perhaps put a leg across them and sort of push them away if they are getting out of hand. But I say, with her, it's not really happened. She's been a joy to own. She's very good in the car, in the house. We have a dog flap, which is or cat flap, I suppose you'd call it. But anyway, it's a dog flap which she goes through, and another one, the family dog's an Irish Terrier. He's the size of the white dog there. He goes through it okay, but she's been a little bit spoilt with that, so she got in and out of the garden, which is a small, secure garden. So she's never had any issues with her. Take her away, take her on holidays. She's a bit of a spoiled baby in terms of sleeping on the bed and what have you, but she's never been an issue. As she's gotten older, you tend to find this with terriers, they tend to sort of go to their own space a bit more, and she tends to go very much more into the sort of small bedroom on her own, any sort of terrier. And all other cases, she's good. Welcomes dogs into the house, no problem at all. Welcomes strangers. She does bark at the windows if people are going past, but yapping dogs is, that's a terrier trait, so you sometimes have to sort of try and manage it as best you can. But at all times, the thing to do is not to be too harsh with them, and try and keep under control. So we'll see if we can get some more images up for you in the future.